Hey, we welcome you back here to San Antonio. Here, game number 2 of our doubleheader here tonight. Rattlers, big victory, 2-1 earlier tonight. We're getting ready to go for game number 2. And with that being said, a lot of excitement here for Stacy Johns as she starts for the first time here at home in 2020. First pitch she delivers is outside ball 1. And, we talk a lot about Stacy and all the good that she has done. Feels like, talking with her, she's been here forever. And she kind of jokes about that and is having a good time. As this pitch is line foul by Lauren Kelly out of play. That'll add another strikeout there. But, you just talk about with Stacy and how much fun it is to get back to, getting a chance to play at home. She was not in the starting lineup tonight in game number 1, and that's a different rarity for her. But she's so talented, and she's excited to have senior season and obviously get things underway here at home. Rattlers and Kingsville Javelinas, game number 2, as Lauren Kelly digs in. The 2-1 delivery is fouled off. Count will leave it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stacy, as we mentioned, her 14th appearance. This is start number 12 for the senior out of Elgin, Texas, just out east of Austin. So many good players have come out of that area in the last 10 years. Just seems to be popping, and Coach continues to go back. That's a swing and a miss as Lauren Kelly down on strikes. And a good start for Stacy Johns as she comes out with the punch-out early on in this one. That'll bring up Jory Cervantes 0 for 3 in game number 1 today. Saw Jory come out. She's had a good season, but a tough start here today. Average dropped down to now 383 on the season. From the left side, she looks for her first hit of the game as that pitch is in there for a called strike. Hector Torres is now the home plate umpire. Jorge De La Cruz is at third, and Glenn Bourbeau is now the first base umpire for today's game, trying to get lineup cards, all that good stuff to you. So be patient with us. We'll get you all set up for that momentarily. Right now, a ball and a strike. Right now on Jory Cervantes. Libas is next, owner free. We'll see Chernosky, Mays, De Los Santos, Reyes, and Castillo set in this lineup. Not much of a change for the Kingsville Javelinas, and that was to be expected. Look at Craig Nicholson group. It's a lot of the same as it would work out. That'll be the case here today as that pitch is swung on and fouled off. Staying alive is Cervantes. We talked about her and what she brings to the table as, a player that's really hit well behind Lauren Kelly. She's been the beneficiary of, a player that gets on ahead and has allowed a lot of RBI, 25 of them on the year. Also has walked 5 times, as that is line foul at Tiffany Lincoln, who's at third. Brawley is the new player that is out there. Good chance to see her play a little softball here today. Has earned that playing time. She's at shortstop for the Rattlers. Jamie Johns is at second. And then at first base, Amber Gonzalez on the infield. 1-2 pitch is lined at third. Lincoln reaches up and squeezes it with 2 hands. That's 2 outs. Good job over there at third. The outfielders for St. Mary's, Victoria Aldridge in left, Barry Christian in center. Abby Carney is in right field, same starting outfield as game number 1 was. Got underway just after 10 o'clock. Moving pretty quickly in this second game. Umpires got changed up pretty quick. Again, things delayed earlier today due to some transportation difficulties for the Rattlers. The visiting Javelinas had a hard time getting up here. Actually just got on their way about 10 miles outside of town and got stuck. Bus broke down and took them a few extra hours to get out here than expected. Got to the complex about just a little after 6:30. And so with that being said, they didn't start game number 1 until 8 p.m. A victory won by the Rattlers in 7 innings, 2-1. Right now, 1-0 on Libas as that pitch is lined just foul. Pretty good swing that time by the shortstop. Saw a lot of success from her earlier today. I mean, she played really well in the field. She's got pretty good bat as well to be able to work with. Average right now at 308, 19 consecutive starts now for the returning shortstop out of DeVal, Texas. Broke RBI record last season, as well as the total base record is. That pitch looks like it misses. 2 balls and a strike is the count. Stacy Johns out getting a chance. First home outing. As that pitch is on the outside corner, strike 2. The Rattlers, you go back to some of that success and what it really meant from that first game. It just seemed like it was one of those deals that provided a huge lift as that pitch is swung on and missed, but a huge lift to win a one-run game. Rattlers had only done that one previous time. They send Kingsville down in order. 1, 2, 3. We'll take a timeout. We'll tell you the batting order for the Rattlers and the starting pitcher for Kingsville when we come back. No score here in San Antonio, middle of 1 on the Lone Star Conference Network. Back in San Antonio, no score, half an inning through. Let's take a look at the batting order for the St. Mary's Rattlers. Again, not much changing. Jamie Johns will bat leadoff. Victoria Aldridge bats second. Taylor Germain is the designated player. Abby Carney, Barry Christian, Amber Gonzalez, Juliana Serta. Cassidy Brawley, the freshman, is in just her fourth game, gets a chance to start at shortstop, and then Tiffany Lincone will also give it a go for the second straight game and 22nd consecutive start for the sophomore playing third base. Returning into the circle is game one starter Sadie Castillo, who really threw pretty well, I thought. But she's out there to start this second game after throwing 100 pitches in game number one, as the first pitch misses outside for ball number one. Castillo, we talked about her in that first game. She'd only lost one time. She was 7-1. She's now 7-2. And I thought, again, threw pretty well. Rattlers got her in the third, but St. Mary's, I thought, challenged throughout that the whole game. And that when you continue to do that and create those opportunities, it starts to build that confidence that you can, if you're St. Mary's, have more confidence against a player that really has had a lot of success, and people have had trouble really squaring her up as the game has gone along. Three straight outside the zone as that one finally drops into Jamie. And talk about the first career home run for the sophomore. Absolutely crushed one to right. Hit it not only over the fence here in the park, but hit it over the fence towards the parking lot. It was a tag as she bunts this one to third, and Jamie will have another base hit. Good job by the sophomore to get up the line and pull in yet another hit. That is excellent execution. That's 33 of them. Leads the conference right now. Heading into league play, had a really good non-conference schedule, but that's as well as you can bunt it, folks. So we saw one of those right before, right as the game ended. I thought Kingsville bunted at the very end really well, but couldn't quite finish at that time. As this ball is slapped to third slowly, Chernovsky charges, throw on to first is in time. Mays had that hit the back pocket of the glove, almost got to it a little late. Aldridge almost beat it out, but the Rattlers had people in motion early on, and that's the down the field specialty right there. Be aggressive and move people over. Got to be unselfish, and that's a cool thing to always be able to watch. As Jamie Johns now in scoring position for Taylor Germain. Taylor is looking at the first pitch, and that's outside for ball number one. Germain 0 for 3, a strikeout in game number one. Again, I thought despite coming up empty in the hit category, Taylor had a couple of really nice at-bats. Ended her streak of being on base, though, in 6 straight, as that pitch is over the inside part of the plate. Cattle even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Game number 2, we're in the bottom of the first inning. Rattlers get a leadoff hit from Jamie Johns via the bunt. And then a sacrifice as this ball is lined to second, ranging back, reaching over her left shoulder is Castillo, but she didn't come up with it. Throw on to third is not in time, and Jamie Johns has got a bruise over there trying to get to third base, but she's in there anyway. Everybody's safe, and that's Yvonne Castillo almost had it, shoulda, coulda, woulda, did not. And so that'll be an error, the first of the day on the Kingsville Javelinas. That is their 23rd of the season. That ball, that was a challenge, but, you know, if you're going back like that as Castillo was getting to it, you got to come up with it, plain and simple. I mean, you just have to. And now the Rattlers with a better chance here with runners at the corners. Let's see what they do here with Abby Carney. Carney had a real strong game one, and she looks at strike number one. And again, you know, there's no secret. Some coaches just know it. You know, you wondered about that with Stacy getting a chance to pitch here in game number two. Everybody knows what Stacy can do, but Craig Nicholson's just saying, I know what everybody knows what my pitcher can do. She's going to beat you anyway. That's pretty much what he said to start this game. As the 0-1 pitch is waved at and missed, strike two. Abby Carney trying to come up with one. Rattlers were able to come up with an RBI with 2 outs in game number one. They were in a similar situation. Runners at the corners in the second inning. They did not score. 0-2 pitch outside. Count runs the ball on 2 strikes. And you look just kind of the eye test of Sadie Castillo as you watch. I mean, she throws it harder and harder and harder as the game goes along. Carney back in. Average up to 261. 1-2 delivery is skied foul and out of play. Carney had a base hit and a walk in that first game. And I think important for Abby, you know, she did a good job, did not strike out. You know, she's leading that category. Nobody ever wants to lead in when you're leading the team in strikeouts, but, you know, she continues to work at that. And, you know, every day, you know, you talk about it with your coaches of, hey, I don't want to do that. I want to be better. I want to come up. I don't want to get fooled. And I think Carney last year got fooled a couple times, and her confidence kind of waned a little bit. She has since certainly cemented that ability. That's not going to happen anymore. She feels really confident about where she is at. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Carney tried to bunt, she missed, and now some trouble at third base. Jamie Johns nowhere to go. She runs home. She runs back as she is tagged out. Strike him out. Throw him out. And just like that, the inning takes a sharp turn against the St. Mary's Rattlers, and we'll end it, actually, as Castillo got banged up just a little bit. She's limping as she heads over to the dugout. That's 1 inning, no score. Rattlers end up leaving 1 aboard. They spoil 1 hit after 1. No score between the Rattlers and the 19th ranked Kingsville Javelinas. This is Rattler Softball. Back with more next on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
No score here at St. Mary's. Rattlers and the 19th ranked Javelinas playing game number 2. St. Mary's won game 1, 2-1. Hey fans, keep up with all your favorite Rattler teams. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. You can find us at St. Mary's Rattlers or search for St. Mary's Rattlers for all the latest in the world of Rattler athletics. Andrew Stossmeister back. Lineup, let's go ahead and take a look for you at the batting card for the Kingsville Javelinas. Again, Lauren Kelly's the leadoff hitter. Jory Cervantes Anastasia Libas is batting third at shortstop. Madison Onofre is the starting catcher. Mackenzie Mays at first base. Jackie De Los Santos is the designated player. Amber Reyes in right field today. And Yvonne Castillo is the second baseman here for tonight's game. Sadie Castillo is the starting pitcher. Defensively, Stacy Johns in the circle. As we saw her toss that first inning of work, this is her 14th appearance. Juliana Serta, the catcher. Amber Gonzalez at first base. Jamie Johns, the second baseman. We get a chance to see the freshman Cassidy Brawley play some shortstop. Tiffany Lincoln is at third base. Aldridge, Christian, and Carney in the outfield from left to right for the St. Mary's Rattlers, who are now up to 9 victories on the season. They are 9-12. The Rattlers have won 7 of their last 10. As the first pitch to Onofre, look out, is slap foul off of the third base dugout. Woke somebody up. That's one of those moments where you look on. There have been a lot of fans out here, but a lot of folks went for popcorn, and only a few came back in the middle of the two games. But they're out having a good time. No balls and a strike right now, but the ones that are here, I'll tell you what, they look pretty warm. All things considered, it was in the mid-60s for that first game. As Onofre has hit her 6th home run of the season. See you later. As she'll around the bases and give Kingsville their first lead of game number 2. Madison Onofre did not see anything over the middle of the plate, and I think that was part of the game plan. That time Stacy missed her target. It was meant to be outside and away off speed. Instead, it was down and right over the middle of the plate. As Onofre, with a team-high 6 long balls on the season, gives Kingsville the 1-0 advantage. That'll bring up Chernosky now, the starting third baseman here this evening. And game number 1 saw some nice minutes from Chernosky in the field, but did not have a hit and 2 at-bats. And we mentioned Alex McLennan. She picked up the victory, threw pretty well for St. Mary's, but quite honestly, she dealt around the free passes. You know, that's not very often you're going to get away with 6 freebies out there, or make it 7 because she had the hit by pitch. But she did a good job and worked the plate well enough that she kept hitters off balanced. As that pitch stays outside from Stacey Johns. Count is even at 1-1 on Claire Chernosky. The 1-1 pitch. That one's upstairs. Stacy got a little bit of pop in that toss right now. You know, it's interesting watching Stacy. You know, obviously the last 3 seasons and what she's been able to do. She said it's been weird. You know, people are starting to figure me out. You know, I've thrown so many times. I mean, that'll happen as she drops in a strike, but you kind of hope you can keep doing that. But she was hoping the new league would be better. Saw her at a basketball game earlier this season. This is her 83rd career appearance. 73rd career start. 2-2 pitch, good off-speed pitch. Strikeout victim number 2 that time is Chernosky as she goes down swinging. And now Mackenzie Mays will step up for the first time in game number 2. Mays 1 for 3, had one of those few hits in the game. And I beg your pardon, 3 strikeouts, on Stacy Johns in the circle so far for the Rattlers. Good bounce back after giving up the home run. We got some fans hanging out in left center tonight. Berm seating is always yielded a lot of folks having a good time, but starting to see a few more jackets come out. You know, we talked to Donna Fields again before game number 1, and she said, "Hey, it's a good night, and things are." You know what? It could be a heck of a lot worse. It's, the other thing she had mentioned was, hey, if our bus broke down and we were late going somewhere, I'd hope somebody would give us that same courtesy as well. So they were happy to extend the invitation, even though things got delayed a little bit longer. This ball squared up well. Johns dives, tries to throw on to first, and not in time. That was a great play by Jamie Johns to get to it. That'll be an infield hit, the second hit of the game for the Javelinas. Jamie, just a great job just to knock that thing down, honestly, and keep it on the infield. But that'll give Mays her first hit of game number 2. She's now got 15 on the season. That'll bring up De Los Santos, who walked a couple of times in game number 1. First pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. Jamie is oftentimes, Stacy in the circle has done a really good job of continuing to amp up that velocity. Still throwing as hard as she did when she started this thing. Difference is people are starting to notice a little bit more as that pitch evens the count up. 1 ball and 1 strike, top of inning number 2. Madison Onofre with her 6th home run, the difference right now. The pitch drops in, good off speed. Looked like a slider that time from Stacey Johns. Count runs a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Good location that time from Stacy, and that time no downer. You can tell already, Craig Nicholson was really frustrated about the strike zone in game 1 and, let his frustrations be heard. Received a warning from the umpiring crew. And I think, right now it's been very clear, and give a lot of credit. Hector Torres has done a good job establishing the zone here early. Both sides have a good idea through the first 8 outs that we have seen, as that pitch is outside to Amber Reyes. Reyes 0 for 2 in game number 1. This is her 81st career start today. A year ago, hit .320. She's got 10 base hits here in 2020. The pitch is on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Count evens up, 1 ball and 1 strike. And I think a big part of Alex McClennan's success in game 1 for the Rattlers, working inside out. She started the first 3 innings on the outside part of the plate and gradually moved back in, as this pitch is unsuccessfully bunted foul. Count runs, ball and 2 strikes. Base runner at first right now again is Mays, who reached on a single to second. Jamie Johns just a great job to extend towards second base and knock the softball down. 1-2 delivery is upstairs, tried to come top shelf, and that's been an out. That was an out pitch early on in the career for Stacy Johns against a lot of people. Better opponents and more people seeing her have been able to lay off a little bit more. But that's still one of the pieces that Stacy likes to go back to, as that pitch is waved at and fouled off. Serta can't quite hang on. Juliana, good effort. That was a good-looking screwball that time. Just enough of a tip of the bat that time by the hitter Amber Reyes. And Kingsville in the gray pants, St. Mary's in the blues and the yellows here today. As that pitch misses, that'll run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ron Castillo, the starting second baseman, is on deck, and 9-hole hitter. Johns has what she likes. The 3-2. Popped up, foul territory, and into the seats. Some of the students hanging out. Good to see a lot of students coming out. They'll be busy. Hopefully everybody comes out this weekend. Rattlers softball at home tonight. Be a late one. Might have to serve pancakes in the morning to get everybody out there for basketball tomorrow. It's senior day for both men's and women's teams. A lot on the line for those games, as this ball is fouled off into the first base dugout. Texas A&M Kingsville occupies tonight. But the students have done a good job coming out and enjoying. Again, we mentioned it tonight. You know, game 1 was pretty comfortable. Game 2 is not bad. Mid-50s right now. Not much wind, so knock on wood, it stays that way, as that 3-2 is fouled off. And Serta, who got the good catcher's mask on right there, took it right off and just kind of laughing about it. But those are the ones you tend to worry about a little bit. That's kind of got your catcher pretty good. Reyes with a good count going right now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Stacy Johns ready. The 3-2 pitch. Grounded to second. Jamie Johns has it. Hesitates. Throws on to first. Not in time. Well, Jamie hesitated and almost faked out Amber Gonzalez and didn't make the play at first base, and everybody's going to be safe. Figure out if that is or isn't. But right now, it's runners at first and second. Amber Reyes did a good job with it. But now, again, after that long battle of pitches, Stacy has to go out and talk with Juliana Serta about just getting refocused to Castillo, the 9-hole hitter. Yvonne Castillo 0 for 2 in game number 1. Castillo hitting .206 now in 19 games. 7 base hits, all of them singles. John's challenge right now. Mays is at second. Stacy in the circle, ready to deliver for St. Mary's. That pitch is swung on and fouled off. You can tell that Stacy's having to work. That's 40 pitches now in this game already, and we're in the top of the second inning. At a near double-digit count previously to Reyes. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Fouled off. Strike 2. Rattlers looking to come up with that momentum this weekend against the team nationally ranked and the last year runner-up in Division II. Lost to Augustana in the 3-game set. Actually had the victory in Game 1. Almost got there. It was a program-setting year for Craig Nicholson's group. And he's excited about 2020. Preseason number 2 in the country. Picked to win the Lone Star Conference this year. And they've got 6 starters back, including their pitching staff. Actually have 7 players back. They're missing one of those to injury, at least at this time. So it's a group that hopes to be able to contend once again. Stacy and Juliana Serta appear to be back on the same page. Again, Lauren Kelly is on deck. Rattlers would prefer not to extend it there. 1-2 delivery, swung on and missed, and Stacy Johns comes up with another punch out. But a solo home run in the inning off the bat of Madison Onofre has Kingsville up 1-0. Middle of 2 from San Antonio. Rattlers are down 1-0 to Kingsville on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Bottom of inning number 2 here in San Antonio, Texas. The Rattlers and the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas opening weekend of Lone Star Conference play here this evening. Getting started a little late, but the Rattlers found a way to win game number 1, 2-1. Had the first career home run from Jamie Johns and a 2-out RBI. They did not trail very long in game number 1. Let's see how things play out here in game number 2. They will have Barry Christian set to lead things off for St. Mary's. The Rattlers would like to thank Raising Cane's, the official chicken finger of Rattler Athletics. You can treat yourself after the game by heading to their restaurant located at 7020 Bandale Road in the Leon Valley. First pitch is on the outside corner and in there for strike 1. Barry's first at bat here of game number 2. Barry did a good job, got on base twice in the first game. Had a base hit and also walked. Average for the sophomore is at .250 now. Sophomore out of right here in San Antonio. Former Reagan Rattler. 1-1 pitch, foul to the backstop. Barry right on top of it. Count runs the ball and 2 strikes. We talked about Sadie Castillo starting earlier. And the other pitcher that, we expected to see, and I'm sure still not out of the realm, is Brianna Smith. San Antonio native, as that ball is lined foul over the head of Chernsky. That time just tried to go over and make a play on it. Barry, last time we saw in the previous game, had a hit the opposite direction on the infield. Leave us again from that shortstop position. She plays back quite a ways, and Kernsky's got such good range over there at third. She'll cover a lot of ground. The 1-2 pitch. That's outside. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kingsville fans wanting that call. Zone has been very good, very consistent so far from home plate umpire Hector Torres. 2-2 is line foul. You know when you've seen somebody that's been watching this game a long time is that there's a hard hit softball right in front of you and Donna Fields doesn't even move. She's out there hanging out, enjoying her Friday evening. Having obviously a very competitive nature to her. Very, very focused on everything happening at hand right now. Here's the 2-2 on Barry. Off speed, hit right back at the pitcher. Castillo, throw on to first is in time, but I'm sure that didn't feel good on pitcher Sadie Castillo. You saw Barry hit one right back into the circle in game one. And take a look, and people are asking, hey, you okay? Sadie Castillo doing pretty well. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. That did not look like it. It was one of those, that felt fine. That looked like it hurt. Good job nonetheless to knock it down. One away here in the bottom of inning number 2. Solo home run in the top half, the difference in this game. A solo home run by Madison Onofre as the Rattlers working right here with Amber Gonzalez. The difference in game number 1, trying to tie it right here. This ball's hit well to the fence. It's up. It's out of here. Off the top of the glove of Lauren Kelly. And Amber Gonzalez has tied the game with a solo shot to left here in the bottom of inning number 2. Folks, it doesn't matter how it gets there. As long as it's out and over the fence, it's gone. Great job by Amber Gonzalez, her 3rd big fly of the season, and we are all tied up. Lauren Kelly can't believe it. There's 2 sides to every story, right? And in that particular instance, it was one of those things that Lauren Kelly looked like she was going to make a real special play, but right as she collided with the fence, it was up there a ways, and Kelly's a taller player at 5'9", almost had it, but off the top of the glove, looked like it was kind of in the webbing, but never fully secured, bounced over and into the Rattler bullpen for the tying run. Now it's up to Juliana Serta to keep the inning going. Rattlers used that big fly to tie the game in game number 1. They have the answer here early on, and I'll tell you still look at Craig Nicholson. I mean, it's been a few pitches. He still can't believe it. He still cannot believe it. Guys over there, it just feels like this place is cheating him. And for him, he's beaten St. Mary's 5 times. He has lost 4 times. Donna Fields, she's the record holder now, 72-29. Pretty impressive. This is meeting number 102. As that pitch is fouled off. Serta did go around. He got a little piece of it. Not much, but enough. Count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Rattlers looking for a sweep over the 19th ranked team in the country and preseason favorite. The 2-2 grounded back to the circle. Good job by Castillo, fielding her position well and throwing it on to first. Sophomore in year number 2 out of Kingsville has, again, continued to play very well. Remember, she lost for just the 2nd time in game number 1 earlier tonight. 7 victories on the campaign for her. The earned run average is special, right above 1. You know, but she has given up that home run. We talked about that a little bit in game 1. Giving up now 2 of them in the 2 games combined. As that pitch is swung on and fouled off. Strike 1 on the freshman, Cassidy Brawley, who gets a chance to hit right here. Brawley not many at-bats through the first 3 games of this season. This is at-bat number 6 officially. She had 1 hit early on in the 2nd tournament, as that pitch is waved at and missed. Strike 2. Brawley filling in at shortstop here in game number 2. Castillo trying to work quick as that pitch is hit up and out of play on the first base side to the 8-hole hitter for the Rattlers. Count remains 2 strikes. Brawley looking for her 2nd career hit for the freshman as she swings and lines that one foul. Right up the netting. Tell you, that's the one thing you always worry about. You go to, you see a lot of places, and it's getting talked about a lot in baseball, is that if the ball goes off the netting, keeps the fans protected. But if you're a player in the dugout, you got to be all hands on, paying attention. Good job by somebody in that dugout as Brawley is down on strikes. Good follow-up by Sadie Castillo, but the Rattlers get the equalizer, and Amber Gonzalez solo home run to left field to tie the game. 2 innings in the books here in San Antonio, game number 2. Kingsville 1, St. Mary's 1. This is Rattler softball on the Lone Star Conference Network. more. Start of inning number 3 here in San Antonio. Rattlers get the equalizer by way of an Amber Gonzalez solo home run with 1 out to tie this game up. Hey fans, are you feeling pain? Book your appointment today with Sports Medicine Associates, a collective group of San Antonio's top orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine physicians who promise to see every sports-related injury within 24 hours and every other patient in pain within 48 hours. Book online today at sportsmedsa.com. Any athlete, any injury, anytime. Sports Medicine Associates. Andrew Stossmeister back here in San Antonio. If you're questioning what's going on here, why are they playing softball at 10:38 on a Friday night? Well, things got started on it. It was a bad day to start for Texas A&M Kingsville, and if you ask head coach Craig Nicholson, this might be it for him when it comes to traveling on same-day games. He hates it. He's always hated it. And he said, look, we're 2 hours away. Like, this shouldn't have been a problem. It took him a quality 6 hours to get here this time with bus troubles, and that pushed games out almost 3 hours from the scheduled start time for earlier tonight. So game 2 right now. Rattlers won game 1 2-1 behind a strong pitching performance and clutch hitting. As that'll be a strike. Good pitch that time from Johns. Fooled. That time Lauren Kelly. That's one of those teammates are making jokes in the dugout kind of swing. That was a good-looking off-speed pitch by Stacy Johns. 1-1 delivery is hit in the air. Foul territory and heading for the Rattler dugout. Count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. Stacy Johns gave up the solo home run in the top half of inning number 2 to Madison Onofre. Outside of that, a lot of strikeouts out there for Stacy. Got 6 of them already in the game. Nobody walked, and that is off the glove of Serta. Just couldn't quite squeeze it. And I'll tell you, you'll see the, Stacy has been squared up from time to time, but her location still seems to be very pinpoint to me. Former Heartland Conference Pitcher of the Year. Preseason Player of the Year last year. I mean, so good as this is popped up foul over the backstop. Tom Norris has the glove. He makes that catch, probably, right? Reaching back. Yep, I knew it. I thought he had it. Actually, probably goes out the back door, reaches over the back of the fence, and still makes the catch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As that pitch, that looks like a swing. It's close, and the appeal down to first base says no. Sweeping hitters are the toughest to see about that because as a sweeper, you're always coming through swinging regardless of if it's close, quite honestly. Pretty good eye, though. That time it didn't look like Lauren Kelly had gone. Here's the 3-2. Slapped up the middle, and that's through. Base hit. Over the outstretched arms of Brawley. Good effort, but Brawley was playing in and shifted a little bit more towards the third base side, and Lauren Kelly is aboard for the first time here in game number 2. We talked a lot about her speed tonight and what she's able to do. She gets on. Look for her to run. 2 swipes in that first game. Also left early, though, so keep an eye on that. I mean, that still goes down in the books as basically the caught. So she's quick. She's always looking to run. Let's see as Stacy Johns delivers. Kelly not going this time as the first pitch is in. Had a little extra heat on it. Could tell because it missed location from Stacy. She tried to start it outside and came all the way back across her body. Jory Cervantes 0 for 1 today. Struck out looking her first time up. Stacy struck out the side in inning number 1. Kelly going, throw down to second. Good throw, but it's behind this time. And once again, the best base stealer in the league has another one. That is now 25 stolen bases in 18-plus games. That's pretty darn good. She's aggressive. She likes to run, and she's not afraid to steal third as she did in game number 1. Count is even at a strike and a ball. Stacy Johns looking over, has her decision. The pitch, bunt attempt. That's in the foul batter's box, it looked like. And I will say that's in play, and I'll come together. That's that'll be an out. At least that's what the home plate umpire said. I don't think that was fair. That will be, it looks like, however, ruled as out number 1. Now maybe the umpire is going to get together. They're going to have the discussion. Craig Nicholson is asking for that. looked like as Javelinas sort of picked that up, it was clearly in the back of the batter's box. It had not crossed into the field of play yet.
Green call stands. One away.
So put that one in the book at least as, well, actually go down as a sacrifice. Kelly will get a chance to move over. She's now 60 feet away. Tie game at 1. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. And now they'll pass it along to Libas, who struck out her first time up. You know, I think Javelinas did exactly what she was supposed to behind home plate. She got up and looked and was ready to go and said, hey, I got to come up firing. Made a good throw on to first. Didn't look like there was really much indication in front of home plate or towards first. And he pointed, but, you know, at the same time, you look at it and you say, okay, for Stacey Johns, got to be careful. This ball is grounded to second. Jamie Johns comes home, the sweeping tag, and Javelinas missed. Great throw by Jamie from second base. Lauren Kelly tried to go for the wide slide, and her initial attempt missed. But Serta could not make the tag quick enough, and a good job by Lauren Kelly to give the lead back to Kingsville 2-1.
That's going to bring up Madison.
So that'll bring up Onofre once more. She'll step in, still with people out there. Good job by Jamie Johns again to create that opportunity, but the run comes across as that ball is ripped through into left. Aldridge plays it quickly, got to her in a hurry, and Onofre has her second hit of the game. Runners at first and second, and this is the thing I think you look at sometimes with Jamie, or excuse me, with Stacy in the circle, is that she throws it so hard. Is that can she have that off-speed pitch? She really likes to kind of dial it up and come with heat. You know, when players are kind of sitting back, they just know it's almost like you're going up to that machine and it's bringing it.
Let's go, kids.
The batter is clear, Chernowski.
So runners at first and second as Chernowski steps up for the second time, a strikeout victim. One of the 6 against Stacey Johns. Top of inning number 3, and yeah, and this is where you kind of have that test to say, hey, how's everything going on mentally? Again, a late night game for the Rattlers. Played well in game 1, had a lot of energy. It's a little bit less so far, just kind of getting that feel from everybody. Kingsville's done a good job. They've stayed up despite falling in game 1. Off-speed pitch drops in for a strike. Cattle even at 1-1. Chernsky has done a good job from that, Janoski from that third base spot.
Go, Claire.
This ball nubs slowly to third. Aldridge charges, throw on to first in time. Out number 2, both of the runners move up in the process. Leave us to third base. Onofre right behind her to second, but 2 outs. Good looking job out there again by Aldridge. Keep playing for those outs. That's kind of that in-between spot. But a good job nonetheless. And I beg your pardon, Tiffany Lincoln that time got over to it. And now Mackenzie Mays will step in. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. 5 hits now for Kingsville. That pitch misses somewhere. Ball 1. Mays a base hit back in the second inning. That one over to second. Last time up. That pitch is in there. Cattle even up at 1-1. Stacey Johns struck out the side in the first inning, but been traffic in each of the last 2 innings. Pitch is hit up and out of play on the first base side. Count runs 1 ball and 2 strikes.
1-2 count.
Mays battling, hitting both games today. Many folks can say that for Kingsville, as that pitch is hit in the air, foul, same spots as that one will head out. Kingsville in game 1 only had 3 hits. Lauren Kelly, Anastasia Libas, and Mackenzie Mays were the 3 players that had those. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stacy Johns delivers, and that pitch is popped up. Long run for Stacy, who dives and makes the grab. Good job by the senior out of Elgin, Texas, to put an end to the threat. A couple left aboard out there for Kingsville. But a run does come across to score for the Javelinas. 2-1, middle of 3 here in San Antonio of game number 2. This is Rattlers softball back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network. Bottom of inning number 3 here in San Antonio. Rattlers down a run, 2-1, as Kingsville able to scratch across another run. Did a good job creating some traffic out there against Stacy Johns. Rattlers will need to find a way to get it back going. 9-1-2 is Tiffany Lincone up for the first time here in the second game. First pitch misses outside for ball number 1. Back in the circle once again. You see Sadie Castillo. First pitch grounded right back to her second pitch, I should say, onto first base in time, 1 out. But Rattlers again trying to find that energy here in this third inning. You can tell that St. Mary's came out and looked pretty focused in the first, but they've since kind of had a hard time getting it all together, at least at that time. Rattlers have a couple of hits. Good news is one of them is left the ballpark. But the lead gone again. They answered it in game 1, didn't have to again. And worked around a couple of different threats as Jamie Johns up for the second time. Jamie reached on a single back in inning number 1. Of course, the towering home run back in game number 1 today. First career shot, and I'm sure for a player that's continued, really makes a lot of her living hitting the ball somewhere between 30 and 55 feet or so. That was a pretty good square up for her as that pitch misses away, 2-0. John's doing a good job being patient. Jamie from the left side, the 3-0 pitch is over the plate for a called strike. Jamie with her hit streak now up to 18 straight games. Twice as many as the next closest player. Has done her job at the top of the order. And that was a spot that, again, St. Mary's struggled at a lot of the second half of last year. Jamie's just earned the walk, and that's what's, I think, been so big. 5 walks from the leadoff spot. And that was not something that consistently happened. Now Victoria Aldridge will step up, sacrifice her last time up. Aldridge from the left side. 1 for 3 in the first game today. First pitch misses, ball 1. Sadie Castillo has started to miss with that first pitch. Dude did such a good job in the first game. Starting to slow down a little bit here in game 2, though. Pitch over the plate for a called strike. Count is even at 1-1. You know, big difference as you look at Kingsville and St. Mary's. You know, Jamie Johns, she has stolen a base, but it's only 1. She's not going to run nearly the same way Lauren Kelly will. The pitch is outside, 2-1. And I think, you know, the one thing you see, okay, all right, first that was a strike to start the game. You know, some fans don't like it. They think it's there right now. But, you know, again, Hector Torres has been very consistent with his zone. And when you start missing, maybe you start to lose that extra inch or so. As Aldridge hits this ball sky high towards center. Underneath it is Cervantes. Two hands. She makes the grab. And we'll have it for the second out of the inning. And now it'll be Taylor Germain who steps up. Germain reached on an error last time on the fly ball towards second. As Donna Fields heading in to make a change. Looks like. At least going to try that right there. And so the Rattlers going to go ahead and try to get a chance to have a new player hit right here. And that's Alex Moreno. Moreno's played in game number 1. Chance right here for her. Alex again still just trying to get it all going the way she'd like to. Got a couple of home runs on the season, but that's it so far. 1 strike on the hitter. 2 away. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-1. Texas A&M Kingsville leading. Moreno 0 for 2 in that first game. The pitch is swung on and fouled off. Count runs, 2 strikes. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error on Kingsville here today in the second game. A run and 2 hits for St. Mary's. The 0-2. Outside, good eye that time by Moreno. Alex, the junior out of El Paso by way of Hanks High School. Done a good job at third base most of the season. As that pitch is hit in the air towards left. Lauren Kelly tracks it down and on the line straddles and makes the grab. 1 left aboard for the Rattlers. We go to the 4th inning, 2-1. 19th ranked Texas A&M Kingsville leads St. Mary's 2-1 here on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness,
corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
Start of inning number 4 here on campus at St. Mary's. Rattlers down a run 2-1 at the hands of Texas A&M Kingsville. Rattlers won a close one 2-1 earlier in game number 1. Game number 2 right now. Glad to have you with us on the Lone Star Conference Network. Andrew Stossmeister. Caleb out here, of course, helping us out as usual. Good to see him hanging out. It's nice to see you out in front instead of in the back, buddy. It really is. It's always good. Got a great staff always helping out. They're the ones that make all this sound is good and look is good, as you can see right now. Right now as the 4th inning commences, Stacey Johns back in the circle for the Rattlers. They're in the gold jerseys. The blue pants, gray pants, and the blue tops today for Texas A&M Kingsville. Trying to find a way to at least get a split before they move on to Austin on Sunday. Rattlers are home this weekend. Texas A&M International, who is in Austin today, will be here. Busy weekend of plenty of athletics going on as the pitch is grounded slowly, foul this time. And Cohen is over there off Jackie De Los Santos, who has done a good job finding her way on base here today. De Los Santos, however, a strikeout victim of Stacey Johns last time up. 0-2 pitch. Good location. That one just misses.
And this is wide, 1-2 the count.
Count runs the ball and 2 strikes. Johns has been aggressive. Well, again, 40-plus pitches in that second inning has since settled down. This is a slow roller to second. Jamie on top of it, throwing to first in time to Amber Gonzalez. That'll be the first out of the inning. Hey, fans, shop East Bay for the latest brand name shoes, apparel, and more. They've got a loyalty club, 90-day returns, and a fit promise guarantee. Gear up your game today at eastbay.com.
That's the ring of Amber Reyes.
Well, good job out there again defensively behind Stacy Johns. She's had good help. Alex McClellan the same way earlier. Rattlers and Javelinas meeting for the 102nd time. Kingsville has played well here, but the Rattlers finally getting back to a victory here on their home field against Kingsville, who had, again, a really magical run last year. Bunt tried at third. Good read by Lincoln, but a throw is high to Jamie Johns at second. That ball will trickle over towards the top steps of the dugout, and that'll be an error and a chance to move up a couple of bases with it from Amber Reyes. Well, that was a great job by Tiffany, who came up and grabbed it, but Jamie just couldn't quite grab it. And now that put a runner at second base. Do we think that was an error, guys? Everybody's having a good time. That's good. That's what you get with late night softball. I just want to point that out. As we approach the 11 o'clock hour, is going to have a change. It looks like a new player getting a chance to come on out there and see what she can do.
Let's go.
It's going to be Natalie Rodriguez, it looks like, the freshman, who will come out and have a chance to hit. Runner at second, one out. First pitch is in there, strike one. Again, Stacy, each time it seems like, and again, this just goes to show the veteran ability from Stacy. Just kind of come in and be able to be relaxed as things continue to go on. As that ball rolls up the line, foul. Past Dennis first-year assistant head coach. It's going to be weird to try to get used to that. Former head coach at Cameron, who Kingsville beat in the Super Regional last year. He replaced Justin Lewis, who was there for a couple of years. Justin Lewis now is an assistant at the D1 school down there for the Islanders at Corpus Christi. 0-2 pitch. That time misses. Stacy away that time. Count sits, a ball and 2 strikes on Rodriguez as that pitch just misses away. Good looking spot. Stacy, again, as we mentioned, a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings, has done a good job kind of reining it back in a little bit. The 2-2 delivery. Breaking ball is low. That time Rodriguez holds off. And now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lauren Kelly on deck, the leadoff hitter, who scored a run in the last half inning. Now timeout is called. Juliana Serta wants to be absolutely positive which pitch she's giving her pitcher. Runner at second, Reyes reached on an error. And Combe fielded, but threw it a little high for Jamie Johns at first base. You couldn't quite grab it. The 3-2 popped up, and that'll get up the top of the press box. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Game number 2 here this evening. Rattlers won the first game 2-1. St. Mary's now 9-12. They're 1-0 in league play. Javelinas 12-6, 0-1. 3-2 again. Slowly rolled towards first. Foul ground as Amber Gonzalez will pick it up and toss it back to the pitcher. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rattlers, we talked a lot about, being ahead after 4 innings. Really, really good. They've only won 1 time in 12 previous tries when they haven't been. Obviously, they got some work to do. They don't want the hole to get any deeper. 3-2. Line foul, and a good-looking sequence going on right here. Again, not much wind tonight. It's stayed very calm, mid-50s. Folks wearing a lot of sweatshirts and hoodies, and some blankets are out there, but you don't see that really deep winter weather wear. 9th pitch of the at-bat. Low, ball 4. Good at-bat right there by Natalie Rodriguez, the freshman. It's a good job. Fell behind, and Stacy Johns tried to get creative and couldn't quite find the zone. So now it brings up Lauren Kelly with one out. Runners at first and second. And De Los Santos grounded out, and then Reyes reached on the air. Rodriguez follows with the walk. Corner infielders are in. Kelly looks at pitch number one. It's on the outside corner, strike one. Lauren Kelly reached her last time up, the single through the left side of the infield. Struck and has continued to find ways to make things difficult on St. Mary's. This is a slow roller. Stacy Johns field throws it to Gonzalez, who drops to a knee and makes the grab. That essentially serves as a sacrifice and moves the runners over. Second and third now, 2 outs. Great job by Stacy to get to that one. That was going to be a challenge. And she's able to get it over to her teammate Amber Gonzalez, 2 outs. And now it's left up to Jory Cervantes. 0 for 1, sacrificed her last time up. As the first pitch around the plate, but not in the strike zone. 1-0 the count. Both teams with a lot of returning pieces, as Donna Fields talked about in our pregame. As that one is slap foul, count evens at 1-1. You know, it's kind of getting to the point. I think that's what's fun about this particular series. You know, last year these two teams played in March and April. You know, not as members of the same league. So again, there's familiarity certainly. The 1-1. That is high, and that gets by Juliana Serta. And that's going to cost the Rattlers a run on the wild pitch. 3-1 our score. So that time looked like Stacy and Juliana got crossed up a little bit, and Donna Fields is on her way out to have a discussion. Rodriguez, by the way, moved up to third base in the process as well. And you know, this kind of just has that feel right now with Donna Fields saying, hey, let's test our focus a little bit, make sure everything's okay. Because you can see a couple players look like it is getting to be a little bit later. You know, it's fun. A lot of times you have players will talk about, man, they'll play all night, all day, whenever they can. And you know, when that moment sometimes comes in this particular instance, that's a little bit harder to be able to accomplish that at the same time. Hey fans, shop your style with Nike shoes for running, training, basketball, and more. You can shop Nike.com for the ultimate selection of shoes, clothing, and apparel. Free shipping for members plus free 30-day returns. Nike, just do it. 2 balls and a strike right now on the count on Jory Cervantes. Did not have a hit in game 1. 2-1 delivery is high. It's off the glove of Serta again, and that time it's going to cost another run for St. Mary's. Juliana that time just didn't reach up enough. Starting battery having some issues as 2 runs come across. It's going to make it a tough pill to swallow if Stacy finds a way to get out the starting center fielder. This pitch is lined foul up and out of play. I'll get into the upper deck seats. Count is full.
Win the battle, Stacy, you got it!
Mike, let's go, Jory.
3-2. Swing and a miss as Jory Cervantes goes down swinging, but pass ball, wild pitch, both problems as 2 runs come across the score. Rattlers have work to do. They're down 4-1. Middle of 4 here in game number 2 of this twin bill between the Javelinas and the St. Mary's Rattlers. Back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Bottom of inning number 4. Rattlers have some work to do. They give up a couple of runs on just some mishaps between pitcher and catcher. So now they've got to find a way to score some. Scored 2 in the first game. They've got 1 here in the second. Found a way to win a close 1-run game in the first. Right now, Abby Carney, the hitter. Second pitch to Abby is in the strike zone. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Rattlers with 2 hits officially in this game. The Amber Gonzalez home run to left that tied it back in the second. And then a single from Jamie Johns to open the game as Carney fouls that one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keep talking about it. Rattlers had pretty good energy in that first game, but they've slowed up a little bit. In the first 11 games, the Rattlers went just 2-9, but they've got it going right now. They've won 7 of 10, but dealing with some challenging circumstances. Late night game tonight is Carney grounds out to short. Really good play out there by Anastasia Leibus, who has been solid over there at the shortstop position. Now it'll be Barry Christian who steps back out there. And I still think, even though as this game keeps going on, Castillo just continues to pitch really well. Hasn't really struggled too much in this second game, and just continues to stay with her about how talented of a player she is. Getting a chance now in her 10th appearance of the season, making her 9th start. Went the distance in game 1 through over 100 pitches. Gave up 7 hits. She's been much better here in this game. Just 2 of them, as that's going to be the 3rd. Barry Christian drives it up the middle, and the sophomore right here in San Antonio is on board. Good job by Barry. Just again, it's been seeing the ball well. When you see a player that's continuing to hit the ball up the middle, it's pretty darn good. That'll bring up, once again, Amber Gonzalez. Last time, obviously, pretty exciting. Amber hitting that last one pretty well towards left field. Lauren Kelly, I'm sure, remembers pretty well. First pitch to her is outside to Amber Gonzalez from Sadie Castillo. 1 ball and no strike. 1 away. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Rattlers scored in the second, but haven't created a lot of traffic since. They did have a walk to Jamie Johns back in the 3rd inning. Outfield pretty deep right here for Amber. Gonzalez 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. Hit foul towards the first base side. That'll get up and over the seats. Some of the fans just trying to stay warm over there. Not worried too much. Amber's, again, leading the team with 4 multi-RBI games. It's really got a strong turn, again, from last season. Only had 6 base hits last year. Done a really good job taking over at first base as that pitch is fouled off. That runs the count. Even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rattlers right now in the middle of the order. Carney grounded out. Barry Christian singled. She's at first. Remember, Barry can run, but Coach Donafield knows that 1 run's not going to do it yet. Really got to get something going. Try to create a little bit of a rally. The 2-2. Hit well to center, but room right back there. Cervantes almost, I think, moved to her left and made the grab. 2 outs. That's, again, another good swing by Amber Gonzalez. Just squared the softball up and drove it well, but that's the good thing to see about Amber. She's hitting the ball well, squaring it off the bat pretty straight. Now it's up to Juliana Serta. Love to try to get things in motion here in this 4th inning. Rattlers are down 4-1. Pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. There have been a couple of hitters that have just been kind of evident tonight. That you watch Sadie Castillo, and she's really come on and been aggressive, especially with her fastball on certain hitters. And Juliana's one of them, because she knows that if she falls behind, it could be a problem. As that pitch is away, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rattlers in the preseason. We talked about they're facing the preseason favorite. St. Mary's picked 8th for what that's all worth. Tell you what, you talk to a coach now about it, they really don't care. they would say, well, that happened. Really, people made up their minds in fall ball about that, and they said, where'd you finish last year? That's good. at this point, it's just mere fun to talk about. But a lot of teams, I think a lot of the upper echelon teams have done a good job. They played some tough schedules. 2-1 pitch, slowly grounded to third, backhanded by Chernosky, throwing to first in time, and that'll end the threat. One left aboard as we go to inning number 5. 19th ranked Texas A&M Kingsville 4, St. Mary's 1. This is Rattler Softball. Back with more next on the Lone Star Conference Network. Start of inning number 5 here in San Antonio. Game number 2. Rattlers are down 4-1. Andrew Stossmeister back. Fans, tonight's game is presented by Baywood Hotels. Looking to spend the night in the Alamo City? Then book your room with our friends at Baywood Hotels using one of the links on the homepage of RattlerAthletics.com. From Hampton Inn and Suites to True by Hilton to Home 2 Suites by Hilton, we've got you covered at Baywood Hotels. Well, Rattlers have some work to do. We talked about it. Offensively, they've struggled in game number 2 against Sadie Castillo, the sophomore out of Kingsville, local kid who's just continued to be really sharp. A year ago had 226 strikeouts. It's coming into game 2 at 65 of them. She has done some good things out there, but right now the Rattlers need a quick inning, need to try to get back into the dugout and find a way to generate some runs. Right now it's Anastasia Liebes who steps up, 0 for 2 on the second game. First pitch runs away, ball 1. And I think you start to look at Stacy Johns, how's she doing? She's she's done a good job kind of getting back to it, but you see some of the power hitters have really done a good job squaring her up on that fastball. It's been the off speed that's done a good job kind of keeping things just different enough that is, I would say at this point, made a difference. Stacy ready. The 1-0 delivery is outside. I beg your pardon, it's 3 balls and no strikes now.
3-0 on Davis.
Stacy is doing a good job not working outside the zone, but last free pass she issued came around to score, and that is going to be a leadoff walk to Liebes. So she'll be aboard for the second time. And now it's Madison Onifree who hit the ball really hard her first time up. Second time, found another base hit. 2 for 2 today in this second game after coming up without a hit in that first game. As that first pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Madison Onifree, an 11-game starter a year ago, replacing Roxy Chapa, who was a really nice player for Kingsville. And, talking with Coach Nicholson about, saying, hey, okay, look, you only really lost 2 starters. Your entire pitching staff is back. A year better. I mean, you've got several multi-year starters. And he said, yeah, but those seniors meant a lot. And, we've got some talented freshmen. He's brought in a good class of freshmen that can replace some things. But it's also about trying to put it all, back into, hey, last year was great, but, to get back there, we got a lot of work to do despite as good as we were last year. And that starts with, a player like Madison Onifree, a sophomore out of Mesa, Arizona, who's really stepped up and done some good things, especially early on in the season after the Javelinas have lost some games. Off speed is line. Look out over there as Liebes runs by it. Into right field is Abby Carney, who bobbles coming up to throw. Still a third base hit, though, for Madison Onifree. And there's runners at first and second, nobody out. Kind of flirting with the idea, though, that, the Rattlers offensively seemed a little bit more challenged here in the second game. You don't want this thing to really get further out of reach. Kingsville thinking, hey, let's find a way to really open this up in this 5th inning and get out of here with a split and head out up to Austin for Sunday's doubleheader. Gonna bring up Chernosky once again, who shows bunt. It's bunted right to third. Lincoln Field throw on to first in time. Good sacrifice. The third sacrifice of the game already. But nonetheless, pretty good job. Out there is the runners move over to second and third. So now that'll bring up Mays for the third time today. Mays a line out and a single to show. 4-1 our score. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Rattlers have not led in this game. As this ball is skied into right. Abby Carney's underneath it, mid-depth. She comes up to throw. Ball is not going to be cut. The tag is late, and everybody's safe. Lipa scores. Onofree moves up to third base. And the Rattlers are down 5-1. Sacrifice fly that time recorded out there by Mays. That'll be her 9th run batted in of the season. Well, it's a good job again just to move everybody over. I mean, that's kind of what you want to have happen, but just at that time, you know, the ball was a little deep and Carney just a little bit low on that throw. Nonetheless, Kingsville doing what they want to do. Is Craig Nicholson
19 for 1.
Making a change, it looks like. So go out and get Catherine Flores, the left-handed hitting freshman, second baseman. Looks like he's going to come in and get a pinch hit appearance. 2 outs now here in this fifth inning. But Catherine Flores, an opportunity to hit for De Los Santos' spot. That's the 7th spot in the order. Kingsville a chance to try to get a few more people in. I'll tell you, you know how you know it's starting to cool off a little bit? If Coach Nicholson's putting on a coat. He's always a shorts guy, too. He looks like he's a little bit more chilly. Coach Furr on the third base side is saying, I'm good. He's got a little bit of a light coat. Pitch is in there for a strike. Count evens at 1-1. Flores trying to take advantage of her opportunity right now. As that pitch is hit back up the middle, base hit. That'll plate the 6th run of the game for Kingsville. Well, and it's another player that takes advantage. The freshman comes up with her 2nd RBI of the season, 4th hit of the year. Well, she's seen some playing time. The freshman out of Corpus actually played at Cal Allen. Pretty good program down there. Had some things working in her favor as once again Craig Nicholson going to come over and make another change. Looks like going to go get another pinch runner, it would appear. Coach Nicholson trying to get multiple people in. That's good to see that. All right, who's got that one? See, I can tell everybody, you know, and even honestly, Donna Fields is looking on. She looks like she wants to make a change as well. But you got a lot of people. Even like, I can even see some of the fans that are looking to squint and see who is that. You can't. It looks. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I think it's. I think is it Caitlin Smith, 55? 55. Okay, cool. All right, so Caitlin Smith is going to come in, and it looks like the Rattlers are going to make a quick change. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout. Pitching change for the Rattlers as Stacey Johns exits down 6-1. Middle of 5, 2 outs. Back with more next.
Corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
Strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Top of inning number 5. The pitching change being made by St. Mary's. Stacy Johns exits and Julia Cruz makes her way out to the circle. Tossing for the right-hander. Good to see Julia back out there, the senior out of Ashton, Texas. In her 12th appearance on the season. Julia has started 4 times previously. Getting a chance to eat up some innings right here as the 1-1 delivery is outside. Count runs at 2-1. Couple of runs plated here in the inning for Kingsville. They have scored in 4 of the 5 innings so far on offense. Some frustration perhaps bleeding through for Craig Nicholson's group. 6 runs, 7 hits, and an error. Rattlers have 3 hits in this game. This ball is off the end of the bat, drifting foul down the third base line. Aldridge can't get to it in time. Count will even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith, the courtesy runner, is at first base.
2 away and runner first.
Reyes right now, the 8-hole hitter, hitting right now for Texas A&M Kingsville. 6 different players come up here in this inning for the 19th ranked Javelinas. 2-2 is slapped foul once again. Dennis Furr with his best Olay kick over there, I think. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rattlers trying to find a way to rally against Kingsville. We talked about it. You know, St. Mary's, after 4 innings, been leading. Had some good things happening. They're now 7-0 on the season, but the opposite side of that got just 1 win as Julia Cruz comes in and able to get a punch out. Good job by her to record the final out of the top of inning number 5. Rattlers have work to do. They're down 6-1. Back with more softball next here on the Lone Star Conference Network. Bottom of inning number 5 here in San Antonio. Rattlers are down 6-1. Andrew Stossmeister back here tonight. Fans, don't forget a lot more events going on here on campus at St. Mary's this weekend. Basketball home tomorrow. Take on St. Ed's. Should be a couple of fun ones, certainly. It's senior day. Got a lot to be honored. The women's team playing for a high seed, trying to host a home playoff game next Tuesday. Rattler men trying to get into the league tournament as well. Got the top 10 teams. St. Ed's, the men will be here. Lost 3 times. Should be, that's always a fun one. Battle of the Saints. Can't go wrong there. As the Rattlers right now looking for some runs. That's Brawley to lead things off. 0 for 1 for the freshman so far today. Brawley a strikeout victim back in the second. You know, you're looking, Kingsville's having, 4th at bats right now. Rattlers are at the point where they're still working on at the bottom of their order with their seconds. Need to find a way to generate some energy. Sadie Castillo continues to toss here in this 5th inning. Through all of game 1, might be throwing all of game 2 at this rate. The pitch is hit up the middle. Liebes gloves it, throws on to first. Another good salty play out there. That time by the shortstop. Coming up with another important stop. I mean, and you look at that, a year ago, Kingsville, one of the reasons they were so good, they did not kick the ball. You know, there were a lot of teams I thought that came into San Antonio that had some problems, and Kingsville really didn't. They were one of the teams that really, in my mind, stuck out and did not have a lot of problems doing that. As Rattlers show bunt, pull back with Tiffany Lincoln. Tiffany 0 for 1, ground out victim her first time up into the circle. Tiff looking for her first hit of the afternoon, evening now. One ball and one strike as Castillo ready. A pitch from the right-handed sophomore is in there, strike 2. I think Castillo, I thought, did a good job, was, aggressive in that first game. It was really mixing up her pitches. Game 2, a lot more deliberate. Seems like, she's coming in hard, she's going out hard, and then she'll drop the breaking ball, more that typical style. Rattlers have just not been able to quite dial it up enough. Rattlers have done some good things today when the opposition has scored first. And that was another area of concern, I think, that has kind of plagued them in the first 20 games, but they've done a much better job of it today as that pitch rolls off of the fence in front of Donna Field's dugout. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Castillo trying to start something up here for St. Mary's. Rattlers 9 wins on the year now in 21 games. Picked up their first win over a ranked team in game 1. The pitch is outside just a little bit. Count is even, 2-2. Rattlers in their order right now with 8, 9, and 1. This pitch slowly hit to the circle. Fielded by Castillo. Throw on to first in time. 2 away. Rattlers have done a good job not avoiding going in order, but just one base runner in each of the last 2 innings. And technically, if you go back to the second inning, Amber Gonzalez was on the bases for seconds. She hit that solo home run, so that doesn't really count. But St. Mary's has had a lot of trouble really squaring it up against Castillo here in game 2. Back to the top of the order with Jamie Johns now. Jamie has been on board, though, twice. Done a good job at the top of the order. Single back in the first, walked in the 3rd inning. Pitch stays away as the count will even up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of inning number 5. It was tied after the second, but a home run by Madison Onofre in the 3rd gave the lead back to Kingsville as John's trying to bunt, got wide on her turn, but she's up the line anyway as Chernosky was not in position to field and have a play, and Jamie's got herself another base hit. Jamie's been on board 4 times. The rest of her team has been out there twice. Good job out there by the sophomore second baseman to reach. Just a perfectly placed bunt once again. That's what they like about her. They're still trying to work with her about stealing bases. I think that's kind of the natural progression for her to do that as Aldridge looks at a pitch on the corner for a called strike. I'm trying to get her to eventually be more aggressive that she can run. She ran a ton in high school. A lot of stolen bases, had some power as well. Kind of that middle of the order player there. As Castillo misses high, count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Talked about the runs for Kingsville. They ended up getting a few more in the 4th and the 5th, but those runs in inning number 4 set up because the Rattlers couldn't get on the same page with the starting pitcher and catcher. Just a wild pitch and a pass ball. Those were the 2 runs that I think kind of took a little bit out of St. Mary's. It was 4-1 at that time, and it seemed like they just they were okay, and then, it's been the hole has gotten deeper and harder to get out of. Pitch bounced towards the circle. Tough field this time by Castillo. And Castillo didn't like the spin and really didn't get to it quickly. Great job by Victoria Aldridge to get up the line. And the Rattlers haven't hit it but 25 feet in the last 2 players, and they're both aboard. Both base hits. Doesn't matter how you do it, right? 5 hits now for St. Mary's. And speed aboard as they come into the power section of the order. See how the Rattlers handle it. This pitch is lined by Alex Moreno into right field. Reyes plays it. She comes up throwing. Cutoff throw. Not in time. Jamie Johns scores and is safe. And going first to third in the process is Tori Aldridge, and Alex Moreno. There you go. There's an RBI, her third of the season. Hope Jamie's all right. She slid into the bat. Nobody got it moved out of the way. But the Rattlers plate their second run of the game. Good-looking job right there by St. Mary's, taking advantage of what's in front of them. So now you move it along. Abby Carney will step up. Now 6-2 our score. Pitch to Carney is upstairs. Coach Nicholson, you wonder, I mean, this is, he's going over the numbers, comparison's sake. See what he'd like to do right here. As that pitch is hit pretty well in the air towards right, but Reyes is there for it, and she'll get underneath it. Rattlers get one back, but they leave two aboard. We head to inning number 6. Texas A&M Kingsville 6, St. Mary's 2. Rattlers softball continues next on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
Strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Start of inning number 6. Rattlers are down 6-2. Andrew Stossmeister back. Fans stop by one of the 5 conveniently located Jason's Deli restaurants for a fresh, affordable meal anytime. Don't forget about free ice cream. Jason's Deli is happy to fulfill any and all catering needs with as little as same-day notice. Jason's Deli, the official sandwich of St. Mary's Athletics. Rattlers get one back. They do end up leaving a couple of them out there. You know, thinking for game 1, St. Mary's, you know, they lost a couple of chances early on in the game. Didn't really create a whole lot more as things went on. But, you know, they've had some chances. That's what matters. But, you know, the Rattlers left 5 on in that first game. They're past that here in game number 2. Julia Cruz on in relief. And she deals right now. Bottom of the order, 9-1 and 2. As that pitch is lined just foul up the first base side. Ron Castillo, the batter right now. Castillo was in and out of the lineup earlier. It's been playing. We've seen some good things. The sophomore out of Leander, Texas, out there in the northwest side of Austin. You know, it's funny, you talking with both coaches, you know, with Donna Fields, the recruiting footprint is, you know, wherever she can find people, she'll tell people that, but she loves to recruit San Antonio kids, and she really typically doesn't have to look particularly far to find what she's looking for. On the other side, you know, you see a lot of teams, Kingsville and International, are notorious for coming in here. As this ball is hit slowly deep in the hole to Brawley. It's short, throw on to first. It looks like it's in time. A little bit of hesitation over there by Glenn Burbo, and Coach Nicholson's going, I'm not sure about that, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Close play at first base. Fans, as usual, restless. They're not real pleased about it as the umpires continue to hear it, making some changes on the cards as Lauren Kelly set to bat once again. 1 for 2 officially in the book, as it would see. Sacrificed her last time up, singled her in inning number 3. She'll hit from that left side. She struggled against, I thought, Stacy John. Stacy did a good job against her. It was a challenge. One away, we're in the top of the 6th. It's 6-2 Kingsville. As game 1 went, Kingsville scored first. Rattlers answered and never looked back. They went up 2-1 in the first game and held on to win by that final. This game, Kingsville got the 2-1 edge. They have not looked back since then. They've scored in every inning but the first. Bases clean right now. It's 2-0 the count on Lauren Kelly. Kelly, a first-team all-conference player a year ago, has been available to start every game she's been able to play. That's 136 in a row. 9 steals now in her last 6+ games. 2-1 pitch. That one misses.
3-1 the count.
Count runs 3-1. Might have a rare opportunity if she found her way on that she may not be looking to go right away. Doesn't seem to happen much. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. And so that will issue a 1-out walk for Julia Cruz. Cruz, again, trying to have that good, solid campaign. Trying to find out where she kind of fits. It's McLennan and Stacy who have been, the top 2 pitchers for St. Mary's. Those two gals are going to be the ones that start most of the games, but Cruz is going to get some chances, and you wonder how that works in with the schedule now for Lone Star. You play double headers anymore. Last year in the Heartland, you're playing 3-game series. Sometimes you're playing 4 games against some teams that, you could pitch some different people, but, it's kind of interesting as it changes because, a lot of people got a chance to pitch in the tournaments. That was just a different format. But now as you get into league play, where does Cruz fit in? Is Kelly running? It's a hit and run. It's fouled off by Jory Cervantes. 2 strikes now on the hitter. 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Kingsville leading it 6-2, trying to at least get out of here with a split for the 19th ranked team in the country. The 0-2 delivery, outside, and hesitation from Juliana Serta. I think Juliana was Alex back there? Sorry, thank you. Alex Moreno kind of hesitated. And you tell you're not going to throw anybody out when you hesitate. There's so much worry, obviously, when you see what's going on back there. As that pitch is slap foul down the third base side. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lauren Kelly again moving up. It's into scoring position. Kingsville again with 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Rattlers have 1 in inning number 2, a home run from Gonzalez. They scored 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. As this one is hit on the ground to short and right through the wickets of Brawley into left field. Aldridge up with the throw. It's on its way home. It's offline, and time Jory Cervantes will trade places out there with Lauren Kelly. 7-2 our score.
A run scores on the fielding area.
Yeah, error that time on the freshman. Rattlers' 2nd of the 2nd game, and now it's a different voice out there as Haley Post comes into the circle, try to talk with the group. Rattlers in a tough spot, and like that time you could just tell Brawley just kind of came up and approached it a little bit off, and good teams oftentimes are going to find ways to make something out of it. And I wouldn't say the Rattlers have done things not as well, but I would definitely say that Kingsville has come out with a much stronger purpose in game number 2. As the conference, it looks like, is over. 7 runs, 7 hits, and an error now on the big board. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for St. Mary's. Let's see how Julia Cruz responds right here. She has to deal with the 3rd hole hitter in Anastasia Leibus for 2 officially, but walked back in the 5th inning and scored. Kind of some messy innings right now for Kingsville. That's what you want to do. The whole goal, try to mess up that score sheet as best as possible. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch stays away. The inning started off with a ground out, but a walk and an error again allowed Kingsville to keep it going. Offensively, just continuing to pound. A team that averages 5.5 runs per game as pitch looks to miss away as well. 3-0 the count. nobody warming right now for the Rattlers. They're hoping Julia Cruz can find a way to get at least 5 more outs. As that pitch is over the plate, good movement that time from the senior right-hander. St. Mary's, the one thing, at least talking a little bit with Coach Post and Coach Fields at times is, they tried to acquire a left-handed pitcher this season, and they did get one in Vanessa Garza. As that'll be a free pass issued by the Rattlers. Cruz again on here for the last 5 hitters. But is having some trouble getting people out. Got that strikeout, which was nice to see at the end of the 5th inning. But right now trying to work around some trouble as the defense is somewhat falling apart behind her. 1 out. Toronto's at second. Levis at first. And now Madison Onofre, the starting catcher, the hitter, tried to almost show bunt, and that's a strike call. Good pitch that time from Cruz. I don't know if that just surprised Madison Onofre or not. But she almost got to pull back like she was going to bunt for it that time. 1 strike on the hitter. As that 0-1 delivery is away. Good job by Alex Moreno to grab that one. Count evens up. And crowd watching on. Late night softball continuing here tonight from San Antonio. This is the 1-1 pitch. That's low and away, 2-1. And you talk about having some messy things out there. You've seen, at least 5 players have come up in each of the last 3 innings for Kingsville. I think that the last 6 innings, they've just continued to make it difficult out there. As that pitch is fouled off, count will even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Stacey Johns right now on the hook for the Rattlers. Had a pitched well earlier tonight, but just off a little bit. Exited with some runs against her as this ball is hit in the air towards center. Charging on it is Barry Christian. She'll reach up and make the grab. 2 outs. Good job by Barry to get out underneath it. That's the other thing that I think sometimes can go overlooked. When you get to, the Rattlers, one of the things that have helped them, I think, in their wins this year is that you're getting, not as many strikeouts. You're keeping your defense engaged. Game 2, a lot more strikeouts and not as many putouts behind you. Now it's Claire Chernosky who will hit. 0 for 2 as that pitch drops in, strike 1. And 7 runs, 7 hits here in this game. And Kingsville kind of opened it up in that 4th inning when the Rattlers made a couple of mistakes. Had a wild pitch and a pass ball that really took things away as that pitch is in there for strike 2. Instead of it being a 2-1 game at that time, it became 2-1 game. It became a 4-1 game, and then things have kind of just spiraled from there. 0-2 pitch. That's fouled off. Chernosky stays alive, trying to, again, find her first base hit of the day. It's been used more in the sacrifice situations. The streak of being on base in 14 straight games ended in game 1. Former Lone Star Conference Player of the Week last season as that pitch misses. Close pitch that time. 1-2. Rattlers starting to get some activity going on in their bullpen. Julia Cruz ready. The 1-2. Outside just a little bit. Count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cervantes at second. Libas at first. 1 run is in already. Cervantes staring in at Alex Moreno. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul. Look out in the dugout. That'll knock a couple of folks. Look like they knocked Michaela off the steps there. Looks to be okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good battle going on. There have been a few of these tonight, but it seems like most of them have tilted in game number 2 towards Kingsville. Alex McLennan, when she got into that struggle in game 1, was able to get outs. It's been a different result here in game 2. 2-2 is hit on the ground to second. Johns ranges to her left and throws out Claire Chernosky. Good job again by Jamie Johns. Middle of 6, 7-2. Kingsville adds to their lead. They lead it here in San Antonio. Back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network. Bottom of inning number 6 here in San Antonio. Rattlers are down 7-2. Rattlers trying to find a way to get some energy going, see if they get their offense going. They've got 6 more outs to work with here against the 19th ranked Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas. Rattlers will be back home on Sunday as well, but getting a chance to play some extra softball here today, later in the day than planned. Certainly, I know all the folks that are still hanging out here appreciate their hard work. They're working hard. It's been a day that most people expected games to start at 5 o'clock. They started at 8. So, again, just got shifted. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Coach Donna Fields, I asked her, I said, is it tougher to wait? And she's like, no, not too bad. I mean, it's harder on the kids, but, all things considered, they've handled it pretty well. They weren't here at the field too early. Some of them have, kind of obviously been waiting for this day, but everybody just got a chance to kind of relax, and it's a good test of the mental fortitude to begin the season at home as the 1-0 pitch is fouled off by Rattlers, and Barry Christian right now trying to get things going. Barry 1 for 2 in the second game today. Hits in both games. Trying to, again, get things started. Here's the 1-1. That's on the outside corner. Count runs the ball and 2 strikes. Sadie Castillo, 80-plus pitches. She's working on almost 200 now for the 2 games. She's been the only thrower for the Javelinas. And Coach Nicholson has continued to stay dialed in with his group. I asked him, I said, what'd you guys do on the bus? He said, well, I told everybody to sleep a little extra. They might need it. This pitch flied and caught over there by Chernosky at third base. Nice play over there. Ball got to the big part of the mitt, but good job for the first out here in inning number 6. Bottom half. As I'll bring up Amber Gonzalez back in the second inning. Hit a solo shot to left field off the glove of Lauren Kelly. Kelly thought she had it, couldn't believe it, and at that time it tied the game. Things were certainly in a different spot than they are right now. It's been a game where I think Kingsville, give them a lot of credit. They've just continued to hang with and eventually find a way to overcome some challenges. The pitch is hit on the ground, foul towards third. We'll get up as Lauren Kelly will chase it down. And the one thing I think you can still see from St. Mary's, they continue to stay aggressive on that inside part. I mentioned it, Sadie Castillo's really done a good job continuing to drive the inside part of the plate in this second game. She was moving it back and forth in game 1, but not as kind of, I'm bringing you heat, and then if I get ahead in the count, I'm going to try to go away from you and throw something down and away or, go with off speed. But it's done a pretty good job of just pounding the zone. The Rattlers, though, continuing to make sure that middle part of the plate and in is not taken away. Castillo, again, we mentioned that first game, gave up some hits. She has given up 6 in the second game, but Again, as we talked about with Alex McClennan in the victory for St. Mary's, not a lot of hard-hit balls. This ball is hit to third, and Chernovsky can't make the play. That's a good job right through, and that'll be a base hit. Rattlers will have their 7th. Time you could tell Chernovsky was not really in a great position to field it, but give credit, Amber Gonzalez has her 2nd hit of the game. And that's another one of those things that I think you look at. You can see progression from a couple players, and that's exciting for Donna Fields. You see a player like we've talked about with Amber Gonzalez, struggled a lot of last year. She's come on really, really strong here this season. That's a positive thing to be able to see. As Araceli Sanchez will come into pinch run for Gonzalez. So Araceli came in that last game, but that's her spot that she gets the opportunity to do so in. Rattlers keep going right now. As get Juliana Serta a chance to hit right here as she fouls it off of that right leg somewhere, lower half. Strike 1. Never want to see somebody do that. You start worrying a little bit more when that's your catcher. Moreno slid over to that spot earlier in the game, but Juliana kind of trying to work through it. Base runner at first, there's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rattlers scored 1 time in the 2nd. That was the Amber Gonzalez home run. They did play it a run in the 5th, but then gave it back in the top half. Down 7-2. 0-1 pitch. Hit in the air towards center. Cervantes charging, reaches up and makes the grab for the 2nd out. Play out there in center. Again, one of the rarities, and I know a lot of fans should be very excited about it because you never know what's going to happen here at this ballpark, but the wind is not blowing tonight. It's been very, very calm, and that's a good thing to be able to see on your home field. And he's playing at the end of February. There were some games last year this time of year were not fun. Promise. This ball skied into shallow first base and in foul ground. It'll be Yvonne Castillo who reaches up and makes the grab. That's 6 innings done here in game number 2. Kingsville 7, St. Mary's 2. 7th innings next here on the Lone Star Conference Network.
We go to the top of 7-2.
Corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
Start of inning number 7 here in San Antonio. Game 2 of our twin bill. Rattlers won 2-1. Kingsville trying to even it up. We start inning number 7 with Kingsville leading at 7-2. Andrew Stossmeister back as the Rattlers trying to get 3 quick ones and see if they can generate some offense. 7 hits apiece for both sides of things. Again, this one really started to change in the middle innings. So it looks like there's going to be a couple of changes coming out, at least to the next hitter. We'll talk about that when we get there. But right now, it'll be Mackenzie Mays to lead things off here in this 7th inning. Kingsville has done a good job. Again, a lot of people on base as that catches Mays. So Mays will be aboard. She's got an RBI. Flores has an RBI. Liebes as well. And Onfree, of course, with the home run, also able to do that. So right now, the looks like Kingsville is going to ask a quick question, or are they going to make it looks like another substitution? Might be moving it in. Looks like Christy Salas is going to come in and pinch hit, at least for one, but also grab a pinch runner. I don't know, somebody's got to pull off the big coat over there. Try to get back out there and run. So the Mays will go out. Looks like Mays is okay. That's the good news. But it looks like Andrews is going to come in and be the pinch runner. We're at the top of the 7th inning. It's 7-2, game 2. If you're tuning in wondering if it's live, you betcha. Hanging out here tonight in San Antonio, a little late night softball. As that pitch outside, a little bit far, 1-0 the count. And the Rattlers in their half, obviously going to be looking for some runs. They will have the 9-1 and 2 spots due up. As Christy Salas gets a chance to bat right here. Salas in her first at-bat. We saw from game number 1 a lot of people getting some chances to play here for Kingsville, and that's important because, again, we talked about it with Craig Nicholson. He's really played 11 players most of the year. Stood by that here tonight. Sadie Castillo has thrown the entire game as this ball is hit in the air towards the gap in right center. Carney reaches over and fields it on a hop. Throw comes in. It is not cut off. And it'll be runners at the corner as Christy Salas comes up with a base hit. Good looking job that time by Salas, the freshman. And so now it's on to Reyes, the 8-hole hitter. That was a good pitch. Cruz, I think, missed her location. She was trying to aim in, and that crossed the plate. It was more on the outside part and allowed a chance to put the ball in the air pretty well. As the base runner looks like she's going, Moreno throws it in the dirt, but good job by Jamie Johns to back it up at second base and make sure it doesn't get out of control. I don't know if that was confusion. It's Dennis first looking on saying, wait a second. Maybe just that mental, make sure everybody's still going in the right direction. 1-0. Nobody out. Runners at the corners for Kingsville. Up 5 runs. It was tied in the second, but since then it hasn't changed much as Rattlers not sure what's going on behind them as things are cut off, and the Javelina is just continuing to move some people around. Trying to see if the Rattlers make a mistake, try to at least throw it down as they did early on in this game. In game 1 today, gave up a run. 2-0 pitch. Slapping effort is hit foul at the third base side by Reyes. 1 for 3 in this game. Reached on an air back in the 4th and scored a run. Struck out her last time up. Single came back in inning number 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Julia Cruz working in her second full inning now. Came in and got the last out of the first as the ball grounded right back to the pitcher, and Cruz able to throw it to home plate. Andrews is out. Good job over there by Julia Cruz. Takes care of that fielder's choice.
That's going to bring up Yvonne Castillo.
Meanwhile, going first to third over there is Salas. It's a good job by her. Reyes will trade and be at first base. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Now back to the 9 spot in the order. Again, Craig Nicholson has been aggressive, getting a lot of people in. Yvonne Castillo trying to get to that one as it rolled out as Castillo was trying to bunt. Instead, Moreno just blocked it right out into the field of play. Looked like a perfect bunt. That's what happens when it's Saturday, right? Right after the top of the hour. Always good to have a little extra softball tonight. 7-2 our score. We're in the top of the 7th. Moving up on that play was Reyes. She goes from first to second. Holding it third is Salas. 1 ball and new strike the count. Is again Alex Moreno seeing some time behind the dish. We saw Alex play. I think Alex was a super utility player last year. Played some catcher, played some first base, played some outfield. Now is still trying to find her spot right now as a pitch is in there for a strike. Count evens up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Julia Cruz trying to just kind of settle in. Fans are just kind of getting a little bit restless, you can tell. Those hanging around as that pitch is fouled off. 1-2. Cruz ready. Again, did not face Kingsville last season. Julia was in some pain, as that's going to be a swinging strike 3. Kind of a Javon Castillo almost going, not sure, but did. And she heads on back to the dugout, 2 away. Here in the 7th inning. Again, the Javelinas trying to maintain what they have done in each of the last 5 innings. That score at least 1 run. St. Mary's has not led in this second game after winning game 1 2-1. As this is slapped to short. Good throw on to first, and that's picked up. That should be out number 3. Brawley, good job making up for that error. Throws out Lauren Kelly. We head to the 9th. Or I guess in the 9th, the 7th, whatever. What are we in, the 6th? Who knows? It's the 7th inning here for game 2 of this twin bill here today between the Rattlers and Javelinas. 9-1-2 due up for the Rattlers on the other side. 7-2 Kingsville here on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Bottom of inning number 7. Rattlers are down 7-2 at the hands of the 19th ranked Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas, the runner-up for the national championship a year ago. St. Mary's picked up a game 1 victory, 2-1, but have fallen behind. And again, things got away in inning number 4. Can they find a way to erase that? We find out right now as it's 9-1-2. Tiffany Lincoln set to face Sadie Castillo. Loved the softball game just for the fact that you can, throw 200 pitches in a day, and I'm sure Sadie will be throwing on Sunday when this team is up in Austin. But she'll get some much-needed rest as Lincoln rips that one foul. Strike on the play that time. Tiff has done a good job in the field tonight, but time still trying to find that first hit. See if she can do it. Going a ground out to the circle. That's kind of where she's been at, trying to slap the ball. We've talked about it coming into this series today, how good she has been at flipping the card from 9-1, really turning it back over to Jamie. Started all 22 games in that spot. 9-1-2 has not changed. It's been a pretty strong mainstay in the order already for Coach Donna Field. She likes that part of the lineup and really feels she has players that can excel there. As this is fouled off. We strike 2. Count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Temperature starting to dip a little bit more. We're in the 50s at the start of this game. Got started right after 10 o'clock. As that pitch is skied on the infield. That'll be caught that time. Chernosky with out number 1.
So I'm getting trouble once I hit her with that place, she gon' be begging.
1 out as Jamie Johns will come back out. And is Craig Nicholson going to make a change? 100 pitches, 200 pitches is enough. All right, fine, you go sit down. That's the end of the game for Sadie Castillo. She's going to finish off with 210 plus. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to tell you who the new pitcher that checks in next is. 7-2. Rattlers need some runs, or the Kingsville Javelinas are 2 outs away. We find out next here on the Lone Star Conference Network. bottom of inning number 7 at 7-2. Pitching change by Texas A&M Kingsville. I think, again, is Coach Nicholson just looking down at pitch count. He's going to go get Victoria Carrion, the senior out of Robstown, Texas, former pitcher at International, came to Kingsville last season and was their primary relief pitcher. She gets a chance to get some innings in right now, but that means it looks like Brianna Smith is not going to have to pitch today to start. Already had a couple of injuries on that staff, but you know, it's one of those things that Coach Nicholson liked his matchup today, and he stuck with that as that first pitch is in there to Jamie Johns for strike one. Again, you know, you start looking at it. I mean, for Jamie, this would have been her 7th, 8th at bat against Sadie Castillo. Castillo's in line for the plus side right now. Jamie Johns is on the hook. Rattlers, can they find some offense? They scored 1 in the second and 1 in inning number 5. As Johns can't catch that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Donafield's trying to stay warm over there on third base, trying to see if her team can find some energy. As Coach Nicholson looking out, and you can tell, you can just see it in his eyes as he looks up. He's like, is this going to stay around for my catcher? Well, Free has had a good game back there. She's done a good job and caught both games. Had the go-ahead home run that is serving as the difference right now. Got some aid in the 4th inning as well on a wild pitch and a pass ball by the starting battery for St. Mary's. This ball is grounded and off with the glove of Levis, and Jamie Johns on board once again. How about Jamie Johns, the game she's having? That's her 3rd base hit. She's been on all 4 times. Javelinas have had a hard time getting zeros out there. Jamie's got 5 hits now on the day. Of course, the most impressive, that solo blast in the last game. Feels like a while ago now, but she hit a towering shot towards right that went over not only the right field fence, but the fence towards the parking lot. And if you've been here to the complex, that's a long, long ways. There's some folks parked there right now. Victoria Aldridge, the hitter right now, 1 out. As the 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2. Aldridge with a base hit here in this game. Singled her last time up. Good placement of that squib bunt in between the third base and pitcher circle. Chernosky is playing in. Count at 3-0. That's on the corner for a called strike. 3-1 to count. Third hole on deck. Alex Moreno there right now. Taylor Germain started the game. Both teams have gotten into their bench quite a little bit. Good curveball that time. As that one finds the zone. Carrion, a left-hander. With some ability. Is that 3-2 misses? That's ball 4. So runners at first and second. And now it's Alex Moreno who comes back up. Alex had a base hit her last time through. Drove in that run in inning number 5. Coach Craig Nicholson studying as he is in relief right now. Got a nice looking group right here once again for his team. 12-6, lost game number 1, but I watched them play really, really well earlier this season. They won all 6 games at that Arkansas Tech invite. Same tournament that St. Mary's was in that they struggled in. Played really well. They beat some ranked teams. 3 of them, actually, to be exact, in that group. As Fried knocks the ball down and makes sure there's no advancement. But Victoria Carrion having some trouble finding the strike zone. Player with a nice story. Got a chance to basically return home. Robstown is right next to Kingsville. It's the town just outside. A little bit smaller as this is ripped foul by Alex Moreno. Count is 2 balls and a strike. John's the lead base runner at second. Jamie. Victoria Aldridge is at first. Fans trying to stay warm as temperatures decline here this evening. All things considered, not too bad. Been worse. 2-1 pitch. Moreno swings and misses that time. Pretty good effort, but just a little bit off. Again, just trying to recognize a little bit different look. The Rattlers have not seen a left-handed starter yet this season, so this might be the first left-hander they've seen. 2-2, fouled off. We'll do it again. Rattlers showing some fight here late. This is a game that St. Mary's really in pretty good position in the fourth inning. They had 2 outs. They're down at the time 2-1, but a wild pitch and a pass ball with runners on second and third. Consecutive pitches allowed Kingsville to score twice, and quite honestly, that's been the difference. Kingsville added 2 more in the 5th and played at a run in the 6th, but you could just see the confidence kind of fell from that point as this 2-2 is lined to short, and that's going to be a line-out double play. That'll be a 6-4 DP, and that will conclude the second game of the doubleheader. Kingsville at least able to get a split, but if you're the Rattlers, you like what you did tonight. I think, obviously it's a lot harder. You get late into the night, and, it's not when you were planning on it, but St. Mary's needed to get one, and I think build some confidence, and they did play very well in game number 1. Game number 2, got to find a way to get a little bit mentally tougher, but you got to give credit to Kingsville. This is another good softball team. I expect them to have another solid year. Big thanks to everybody here at St. Mary's University. Don't forget, join us tomorrow. Basketball, St. Mary's home for Senior Day as the women and the men will play at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock tomorrow, right? So that'll be a game over at Bill Greehey Arena. Be sure to join us there. And then softball, of course, back here on Sunday. We invite you to join us. Rattlers are home to Texas A&M International. That game is scheduled to start earlier. Hopefully all that will be good. International actually could be here. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some people here watching the game as they finished up against St. Ed's earlier tonight. I'm Andrew Stossmeister. Big thanks again to Caleb for helping us out next door. The Rattlers split against the Javelinas. They win game 1 2-1. They fall in game 2, 7-2. St. Mary's is now 9-13 on the season. They're 1-1 in Lone Star Conference play. Kingsville is 13-6, also 1-1 in Lone Star Conference play. This has been a presentation of St. Mary's University on the Lone Star Conference Network.